Hey guys, Luke here. For today's video, we're going to be talking about Sonny Bill Williams, and I've already done a video a couple of weeks ago talking about Sonny Bill's return for the Roosters, so I'll try and keep it relatively short, I would imagine, but we're just going to be talking about his return game in particular. He's taken on the Raiders, so this is a grand final rematch. Obviously, Sonny Bill didn't play in the grand final last year, but the Raiders ended up having a controversial loss to the Roosters. The Roosters are a fairly different side this year. Even the Raiders are a fairly different side. Josh Hodgson not there, obviously. Not travelling as well as they did last year, but have, on the occasion put together a performance. And I think they are capable of beating the Roosters this week, which is why it's such an intriguing game. Now, I'm probably the first to say, who gives a shit about Sonny Bill? I don't really care. And yet here I am making a video about it. So obviously there is an element of me that does care as much as I don't want to admit it. And I feel like it's the same for a lot of the NRL population. I don't know, the community. The NRL community is probably the better word to describe it. But I feel like there's an element of like that people don't want to admit that they kind of care what Sonny Bill does. And granted, a lot of it is due to the fact that just the media won't shut up about him. So a lot of it's kind of like, I'll be honest, I kind of want to see him fail. He hasn't really failed as of yet in his career, apart from sort of the little Toronto sort of gimmick sort of signing he did, but that was for a lot of money. So would you describe that as a fail? I probably wouldn't. But like I said, he did his last sort of venture into rugby league was playing for Toronto in the Super League, and he didn't look very good. Apparently he's had some surgeries. He hasn't played for a long time. So I can't imagine Sonny Bill comes in and sets the world on fire. But here's my problem with the whole situation. It's like I said, the media absolutely loves him. It's a whole media circus with Sonny Bill whenever he's in the rugby league sort of world, or even rugby. There's a lot of talk, anything to do with Australia and rugby league, anything like that. There's a lot of attention on Sonny Bill, and for a good reason. He's such a good athlete, a great player, probably one of the best ever. The only problem is he doesn't stick around with the sport long enough to, in my opinion, really become like a full-on legend. So there's a lot of people who talk about Sonny Bill. I saw this thing that was ludicrous, saying, should Sonny Bill be the first New Zealand immortal? It's like, come on, the dude's, how many seasons has the guy actually played in the NRL? Not many. He hasn't really. He's not played many. Even his last stint, he played 2 seasons with the Roosters, won the premiership the first one, didn't in the second, and then left to go to rugby union. How this guy is, kind of like the poster boy of the NRL whenever he's here, I don't really understand. And like I said, there's a lot of attention on him, but that's because the media forces it on you. Open up any paper and he's on the back page. Like, if you put James Tedesco on the paper that much as well, he'd probably be the same. But it's just the fact that Sonny Bill, they just absolutely love him. Probably because he was like the bad boy, he's kind of turned good. Maybe that's like a good story for him. It's an easy story for them to write. I don't really know, but there's so much attention on him. So much so that Fox Sports have decided to do an SBW camp. Now, that sounds like a joke, but it's actually a legitimate thing. If you think back to when Jared Hayne returned to the NRL from the whole 49ers stint, the NFL stint, his first game for the Titans, I think it was only just the first game, but they literally had a camera focused on just him, which I find super weird. But at least with Jared Hayne, he's a back. He's going to play the whole game. From what I've seen from Sonny Bill, I've seen a few legend stuff come out. I haven't actually heard Trent Robinson come out and say this, but the general consensus is that he's probably going to play 20 minutes or so, probably either side of half time, in the middle somewhere. So the rest of it's going to be on the bench. So are they just going to film him on the bench, or are they going to film the game and then when he comes on, then do it? It kind of not baffles me, but I just feel like they overestimate the interest. Now, like I said, I do care about Sonny Bill coming back to the NRL. I'm sure a lot of you, like I said, probably don't want to admit it, but do care about Sonny Bill. Every time I do a video on Sonny Bill, it seems to be my most views. So there is interest. He's one of the most popular players. But I think even the most diehard of fans, like, you can ask me, like, do I want to watch my favourite player in particular? And that goes to any sport. And I'd say no. I don't want to just focus on that player. Where's the fun in that? Like, half the time, especially in rugby league, like, they're probably not doing anything. They're either just, like, walking around or running a decoy, or standing on the opposite side of the field to where the play's happening. So it's like, all I'd be thinking is, what's actually happening? Now, if Sonny Bill happens to get involved in a play and he comes up on the screen, that's brilliant. But I don't see the appeal in sitting there and watching one player for a whole 80 minutes, and in particular Sonny Bill for probably 20, 30 minutes. He's coming off the bench after all, so there's definitely going to be a stint on the sideline. So I'm just interested to see whether it literally is just him on the sideline, just sitting there, just chilling, just like, looking around and just going, oh yeah, this is like a nice stadium. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh wow, not many people in the crowd. Oh, sick. Like, I wonder if it's going to be something like that, or if they're actually just going to focus on the whole game, and then when he comes on, then focus on it. But yeah, even then, I don't really care. Don't really care about that. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. The media obsession with Sonny Bill, it drives me insane. I think it probably drives a lot of people insane, and that's probably why there's so much interest in Sonny Bill, just because they don't shut up about him, and because people kind of want to see him get smashed, like he did in his first game back. Sam Burgess ran through him. It was like, I feel like the whole NRL community was jumping for joy. It was brilliant to see. And I don't know, hopefully Papali. We'll go Papali. Hopefully he does it for them, because I think that'd be super, super funny. So fingers crossed that happens. Run straight through him. Absolutely destroys him. And then we can see that on the Sonny Bill cam. We can see that in super zoomed in. Get perfect viewing of it. Actually, I might even do a video giving my review of the Sonny Bill cam. I'm assuming it's like a press red, or maybe they've even got a whole other channel. I'm surprised they haven't done SBW TV legit. I know Bo Ryan did it. I'm surprised Fox Sport hasn't even done it, because they've been playing Sonny Bill's best hits essentially on Fox Sports all day. So I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. It's probably the next one. They got the Matty John show. It's nearly becoming the Matty John channel. They're probably going to do the SBW channel too. Probably the next one. Anyways, I've kind of ranted a little bit about the whole Sonny Bill circus in the media. Personally, I think he'll probably come out and he'll probably play a half-decent game. Probably nothing special. Probably just be like a solid first grader. And he probably will get better as the season goes on. I mean, at the end of the day, he's at the Roosters. He's at the best team on paper, I would say. At least the best sort of coached and instruction, all that sort of stuff. So I feel like all he has to do is kind of not play too bad, and he should be able to blend in quite well, and then Tedesco and all those can carry them. Like if you probably chuck in like a Lindsay Collins in the Bulldogs, they probably look like shit. Yeah, they're playing in the Rooster side with all the quality players around them. They look like they're pretty good. So Sonny Bill, I'm assuming he's a lot better than a guy like Lindsay Collins. So he'll probably look alright, Sonny Bill. Even if he's old and a bit broken down, he'll probably look half decent. Anyways, I want to know, what do you guys think in the comment section below? Do you think Sonny Bill will play a pretty good game against the Raiders tomorrow? Do you think the Roosters will get the job done? Or will the Raiders cause a bit of an upset? I don't even know if it's an upset at this point. Raiders have been pretty good as of late. But do you think the Raiders will get their revenge on the Roosters after a grand final loss last year? And will Sonny Bill be made to pay and regret coming back to the NRL? Leave in the comment section below. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, just all social media. It's on the screen right now. Mr. Luke on my team for the most part. It's just Mr. Luke on Facebook. So go ahead and give that a search. And yeah, we'll stay tuned. I'm not sure what I'm going to be uploading next. Quite possibly a Sonny Bill Williams cam TV camera video thing. I don't know, whatever it's called. SBW cam. We'll do a bit of a review on it. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.